Joe here from the Working Fans Podcast. And at the Working Fans Podcast, this is just a podcast that three lifelong fans created to have a place to talk comedy and pro wrestling. Now, our comedy podcast releases every Tuesday, while our wrestling podcast releases every Thursday. We release bonus episodes under the moniker Working Fans Presents every now and then. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, any major podcast provider. The important thing is just please like, rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen to us. Now, we have started a new thing. We are now on Amazon and Audible. So those episodes release every Monday. And that's kind of going through the archives and just releasing our old episodes into new areas. So if you want to live through the process with us again, take that journey with us again, you can find us over on Amazon and Audible. Now, if you can't get enough of us in the audio form, check out our YouTube. It's youtube.com/C/Working Fans Wrestling Pod, or just search Working Fans Podcast on YouTube. We have the whole archive is up there. And if you listen to the Working Fans Podcast, you are more than familiar with the 531. That is our signature segment where we take your top 5 lists on a particular subject, vote it down to a top 3, and then debate it down to a top 1. Now, guys, if you want to hear 3 guys talk shit about comedy, wrestling, life, anything, you will enjoy the Working Fans Podcast. Fans, happy Halloween. Welcome back for Working Fans Presents Episode 18, Horror Business, Episode 3, where the man they call Dave and we will talk top horror movies of all time. Let me play the intro video and I'll bring in Dave right after that. Dave, it is Halloween.
Ooh.
We are getting in the spirit of things.
Spooky.
I know if we were lucky, we'd have Tyler Peters doing his Paul Bearer impression on this show, setting the mood.
And we'd all feel like a bunch of perverts doing it too. Oh, yes.
But we have a bunch of lists. So we're going to have to go back and forth like Fry and Takayama. If you're into MMA and boxing, you get the reference. If not, get fucked.
Word shit. Your mama told us. Go ahead.
I have one partial list, and I'm going to start off with 2 family members. I got my cousin,
prime time, bitch. Go ahead.
My cousin William Jacola just had Bambi. Got a couple laugh emojis on there. Dave's crying over there. And another one of my cousins, Kelly Malazek, who I wanted to give Dave that last name just to see how he'd pronounce it. She had Are You in the House Alone, Lost Boys, Scream, The Shining, and Poltergeist.
I thought that was a question at first. I wanted to give that name. Are you in the house alone? Yeah, motherfucker. Who else is here?
I mean, the cat's here.
Yeah. He'll fuck you up. You try to make it my house. I got a badass cat. This cat's always ready to fight.
He's got like a mini panther over there. But what's the first list you got for us?
Fuck you up. I got Rod Fletcher. He's got The Thing, 1982, Halloween, 1978, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974, The Exorcist, 1973, and American Werewolf in London, 1981. Gave us the year.
Not bad. I got Jason Shane, Strife Bringing Chaos, if you're familiar with his rap game. He's got Lost Boys, Halloween 2, The Shining, Creepshow 2, and then Jake Rule in full effect. He's got Needful Things in room 1408.
1408, interesting. I saw that, in the theaters. You know what's interesting? The Shining. I literally didn't see that movie until I want to say 2016, 2017.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. My ex-wife, who was a lot younger than I was, little peek behind the curtain, but she had saw that movie and she recommended it to me, and we watched it. It was pretty good. And then I ended up seeing that sequel that came out a few years, Doctor No Sleep. Doctor Sleep.
Doctor Sleep.
Yeah, that was really good
Yep.
too. I enjoyed that. Yeah. All good shit.
Now,
But
did you see the remake of The Shining that was like a mini series? It had the guy from
no,
Wings in it. It
no,
wasn't as
no, no.
great.
What guy from Wings? Was it
Steven Weber.
Steve? Oh, okay, the brother.
Yeah.
It was like one of the two brothers. He was not the one who was married to Crystal
Yeah,
Bernard.
not the brother.
Yeah,
That
Tim
was,
Daly.
I don't know his name,
Tim
but
Daly, Stephen Weber. Yeah, we went with Crystal Bernard. You're in my house. You didn't know you stung my wings. We'll do a top 5 on wings episode if you want someday. Tony Chadu, motherfucker. I got looks like Corey Lodson. He's got The Thing, Jaws, Dawn of the Dead, Creepshow, and Halloween.
I'm gonna hit you early with my list. I got The Shining, It, Creepshow, Creepshow 2, and Poltergeist. Philip Allen has Alien, Aliens, Alien, Aliens, Alien. That dude's scared of space.
Oh my goodness, Joe, I'm so sorry about this. I gotta take a hit of my inhaler here, brother. All these scary movies have gotten the best of me.
Got Dave all worked up. He needs his good breath.
Yeah, I thought Freddie
I got
coming around the
Tim
corner.
Furland, who's got Candyman, Lord of Illusions, Child's Play, It, and The Shining.
All right, so It is a movie I didn't see until like the new one came out years ago. I think, a little bit of the original It when I was a kid, and I don't think I ended up finished watching it, which isn't because it was so scary or anything, because my parents didn't give a fuck about what I watched. I stumbled upon, oh God.
See, I was terrified of the original It.
Dude, what was that movie? Oh God, it's a Stanley Kubrick film. Orange.
Clockwork Orange.
I watched that when I was like 5 years old. I fucking walked in the room, saw a woman getting raped, and I was just sitting on the stairs watching this. And I was thinking, like, I don't know what I was thinking. I was 5. I probably was thinking, like, titties, because I don't know shit. And I'm just like thinking, but she don't look happy. This looks miserable. Like, what is going on here? This is horrible. And I just watching it, and then they beat the shit out of an old man. I don't know if Clockwork Orange is going to make any of this list, but that was a horrifying movie. Anyway,
yeah, I mean, especially for a 5-year-old, he just wants to watch wrestling and cartoons. He's getting hardcore rape.
No wonder why I fucking got fucked up when I got older. Anyway, Jim McCarthy, he's got The Mist, The Fog, Jeepers Creepers, Lair of the White Worm. Sound right to you? Lair of the White Worm. All right.
You got to mention what group all those responses are coming from, because those are responses that we got specifically from the.
It's all this from the sci-fi of horror.
Sci-fi and horror from the past.
The past and the present.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a Facebook group page that I put this question out to. And I couldn't take all the answers. We got almost 100 lists, and we only got so much time in the day. Greg Capirlozzi brings us a list.
He also wrote Nosferatu. I don't think I included that one.
Oh, Nosferatu, yep.
Yeah, Nosferatu. Thank you for knowing what that was. Nosferatu!
That's the Italian Dracula. No, that's a Dracula movie that came out just before the original Dracula.
I want to suck your blood. It's so good. Okay.
Craig Capirlozzi brings us a list. He's got The Shining, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, Session 9, and the original Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. Shout out to Greg Capirlozzi, former Better Value man. I worked for that man for years. I know who he is. We were in the meat department together. Got around some of that stinky ass meat. I know that man. He's a good man. Hope you're doing well, brother. I got Brendan Wicklin here. He's got The Thing. Suspiria, okay. Frankenstein, 1931. Reanimator, there you go. And The Horror Express.
Horror Express, that was actually a movie that was featured in one of the creep shows that I was watching, where this guy, he created this VR machine that you could go into any movie like that was in the library, and it would like put you in the movie. You could interact. And the movie he chose to go into is Horror Express. So I saw so many clips of that movie that I'd be interested in seeing the whole movie.
I thought it was going to be like a
Chuck
takeoff
Winchester,
of the Midnight Meat Train. Anyway, good movie.
now Chuck Winchester from Regularly Scheduled Hostilities has Halloween, Scream, Silver Bullet, Jeepers Creepers, and Children of the Corn.
Silver Bullet, another movie I saw when I was like probably 7 or 8 years old. The old werewolf and shit, howling at the moon. Oh yeah, I remember that one. Silver Bullet, baby. It's good shit. I shouldn't have been watching that. Anyway, we got Bo Prater. He's got, that's a tough one. So I'm going to go with what 5 movies made me love horror. Okay, thank you, Bo. The Thing, The Fog, Poltergeist, American Werewolf in London, Creep Show, Night of the Creeps, Return of the Living Dead. I think he gave us more than 5 too.
Now we have another Connecticut podcaster here, Shawn Mg, gonna be a future guest on the Combat Cast when we reach out to him. He's got The Shining, It, The Remake. He's got The Ring. He's got House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects, Tide, and Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, you know what? I'm with him on that Freddy versus Jason because here's the thing. I'm not gonna say like it's just a fantastic movie or something, but to me, those were like the 2 horror icons of that era. And the fact that we were getting some kind of cross promotion, like that was just amazing to me. Like I was super psyched for that. Freddy Krueger scared the fuck out of me as a kid. And then what's her name from Destiny's Child said she called Freddy a not a very nice word in the homosexual community in a Christmas sweater. And I just remember I was like, oh shit, nobody ever ripped into Freddy Krueger like that. This bitch did. Destiny's Child, more like Destiny's Wild. Anyway,
damn, if her sister will slap Jay-Z, they're both on fire.
They don't give a fuck. Freddy Krueger, Jay-Z, y'all, come get these hands. Chris Rankin, he's got The Exorcist, Halloween, The Changeling, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and The Conjuring. You can tell Joe is way more familiar with horror movies than I am. Like I know basically a lot of the popular horror movies and maybe a few, you know, like I said, the Midnight Meat Train or something like pop up in my head. But yeah, there's some of these I'm just not gonna know. So like
now
Navigosky, whatever that was.
Nosferatu?
Yeah, Italian Dracula. Blood.
Now I got Craig Coleman. He is a co-host on the Full Charge Power Hour. Great podcast if you haven't listened to it. He's got The Shining, Hereditary, American Werewolf in London, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, werewolves in London. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, like the genres. I don't know if genres is all horror, but like the time periods of some of these movies, right? Like you get those old school, like Dracula, Frankenstein, the
Universal
Mummy.
horror, like the 30s and 40s, Dracula, Creature of the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Mummy.
And then you have the other era, like I don't know, I guess the 70s, and because Texas Chainsaw Massacre was in the 70s, right? The original?
That was 70s, yep.
Right.
Yeah, you had that era of like John Carpenter and Wes Craven where it's like Last House on the Left, The Hills Have Eyes.
And that 80s.
Chainsaw.
Yeah. It was
80s was Freddy and Jason.
Yeah. And then the other 2
settled into Scream.
Yeah. Remember what's that one? You might even make somebody's list. It was like The Shocker or something. That not that thing he did to that girl in the car, but The Shocker. It was that the guy got electrocuted and he started getting into like people's TV sets and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about?
It's not The Shocker, but I don't know what it is.
Electricianist.
Dave's just making up movies now. John White brings us our next list. He's got Halloween, original Friday the 13th, It, The Shining, and Scream.
Okay. All right. So Scream, making some lists here. I I thought it was comical, honestly. Like when I first saw it, like some of the shit they were doing.
Yeah.
Like when they stabbed themselves, the guy's like, "I'm getting woozy." I don't know. It's one of my favorite lines. I got Joe Barra. He's got The Thing, 2011 prequel, Halloween, 2018, The Thing, 1982, The Wolfman, 2010, and Dracula Untold.
Nice. A lot of good list. Next up, we got Michelle Dumas, who's got It, the original, The Exorcist, the original, Lost Boys, Trick or Treat, and Shutter Island.
Nice lady, by the way, too. Hung out with her the other night at AEW show. Shout out. I'm glad she's contributed some lists here. Unless it's another Michelle. Anyway. So, I got Misha Vincent. He's got The Thing, Alien, Halloween, Poltergeist, The Exorcist. So the Poltergeist, right? That's an interesting one too. Like it's so famous for like, that little girl, right? They're here, and everybody, does the whole thing. But isn't
The girl
that
in the TV? What about that weird little lady that had the voice?
Yeah. But wasn't that movie that was like everybody talked about was like cursed because a lot of people died from that film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple people.
Yeah, that's right, man. Art imitates life. Don't fucking better be careful you're doing these horror movies to get fucked. Get out of the house.
Now, sorry. Albert Bettis has The Exorcist, The Shining, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, and Aliens.
Aliens, making a lot of lists. Man, for me, Nightmare on Elm Street was just one of the scariest movies. Like, that's because I was a kid. I think it was his burnt up face, and there was the claws, obviously, too. But then also, there's that scene, I think it might be Johnny Depp, where he just basically takes the kid from underneath in the bed, and you don't see him, and then it just shoots up a bunch of blood at the ceiling. Like, as a kid, I don't know what, but that fucked me up, man. I was not ready. Remember that? What's the sequel of that? And the kid's like dancing around. He like stuck a pencil in his dick or something like that, like in his jeans. Remember? And he's like dancing and he gets caught. And remember that shit? Yeah, the sequel wasn't as good. That's number 2. Yeah, check it out. Number 2.
I feel like Dave watched like an off-brand movie of it.
Nah, man, you got Freddy Krueger.
And that was a porn parody.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2, man. My parents didn't filter what I watched. I don't know what to tell you. Pencil in his dick.
Now, Daniel Backley at Cage My IQ on Twitter. He ain't no quitter. He's got Final Destination, Scream, Halloween, Trick or Treat, and Jeepers Creepers.
I'll tell you a story about Jeepers Creepers too. So I went to see that in the theaters with 2 of my really good friends who ended up getting married, and that was in the early years though. But we went out to see that movie.
Chuck and Billy, right?
Chuck and Billy. Rob and Andrea. So we went to go see that movie. It was West Warwick, Rhode Island. And it's a true story. I remember we were driving on our way home at night, and literally we almost got ran off the road by an 18-wheeler. And we were like, holy shit, that was creepy. Didn't think anything of it. Then the next thing you know, Andrea's looking outside the car, and she's like, why are those guys staring at us? This is all after we saw that movie. And we're like, and I just hear these guys, and dude, I'm no badass or anything, right? And I'm not scared either. I'm like in the moment, I'm shocked. These guys are looking at the
car. He's like, get yourself, fool. You want to catch his hand?
They're like looking at us. And I just remember they're like, roll your fucking window now. Roll your window down. They're yelling, and I'm just listening to it. And I hear Rob like, dude, just fucking drive. Get the fuck out of here. Because it's only me and him. And there's like 6 of these fucking dudes. And I love Andrea, but I doubt she's going to be throwing hands at us. She might try, but we're fucked.
You get a tire iron, she could go upside somebody's head like, bah, bah, bah.
She might have too. But I just remember, Rob's like, hey, get the fuck out of here. But like, I was not hearing anybody. I was so lost in this moment. Maybe because the windows were up and I didn't feel threatened. But I remember I was thinking like, wow, this is happening. Like these guys are actually want to fight us. Wow. I'm just there. Like it's not real life. But it was real life. Like I should have.
Dave's got somebody there going, get out. Get out of there.
Get the fuck out of the house.
Dave's like, I'm about to throw hands. This is about to happen.
And I fucking got out of there. We all fucking left. And they left it. They ended up actually speeding ahead of us and going away. So who knows what was going on. But yeah, that happened. You know what else happened? Eric Swinson. I guess that's his name. He's got Halloween, 1978, Jaws, The Exorcist, 1973, and American Werewolf in London. By the way, I got one more list and then mine. So,
all right. I'm gonna hit you with several lists in a row. After each list, pick a movie, say something. Stephen Rowe from the Mothership Facebook group has The Fun House, Sleepaway Camp, Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D, The Children, Creep Show.
interesting. You picked a bunch of movies I hadn't seen, but anyway, I will throw this out. Friday the 13th in 3D. I remember that as a kid, and not seeing it, but like what a big deal it was. Like people, talking about these 3D glasses and holy shit. What an interesting concept. So I wonder how much money they made off of that, because it seems like something that was very gimmicky, but probably they might have cashed in.
Especially in the days when 3D was a little rougher. And like now, Mike Barisi from the Mothership Facebook group has Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Hellraiser, Poltergeist, and Evil Dead.
I'd like to see a Freddy versus Mike Myers crossover. I feel like that would be interesting, just to see. Like, I think it's similar to Jason.
You would think after Freddy versus Jason, they would have done like a Mike Myers crossover too.
Yeah, he definitely gets into it. I mean, more of these crossover movies would be great. I mean, you've seen the success of like Marvel's had, like mixing up all these like superheroes and putting everybody with each other. Like, I'd love to see that with horror a little bit.
Definitely. Now, Kevin Dignam from the Mothership Facebook group has A Nightmare on Elm Street, Drag Me to Hell, Halloween, The Exorcist 3, Hellraiser, and then Jake Rule, Halloween 3.
The Exorcist is making a lot of lists here. I mean,
that was The Exorcist 3, sadly.
Okay. Well,
The Exorcist has made it on a few.
Yeah, that whole franchise is very interesting. It got parodied after times. Everybody just knows that one scene where the woman's head is like spinning around and she's saying all kinds of crazy shit like "suck my cock" and all that shit and spitting out green pea soup at people.
She might have been trying to do some unholy things with a cross too.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. She was. Yeah. So I mean, that's a movie that scared the shit out of people back in the day.
Oh yeah, still scary to this day. Now Terry Day from the Mothership Facebook group has Dawn of the Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Nosferatu, Last House on the Left, and The Exorcist.
Okay, not any of these movies, but I'm going to add something here because you said Dawn of the Dead. I was thinking about a movie that I ain't going to make this list, but whatever. I enjoyed it. I don't know if it was very popular, but it's a Tarantino film, Dusk Till Dawn, where to me, I remember seeing this movie. And
the bar was a titty twister.
Yes, that's right, the titty twister. So I remember watching that movie, and nobody told us what it was about. This was back in the old, like in the 90s. I didn't see a preview for it or nothing. And the friend who I was with at the time hadn't either. We're watching this, and we're watching these two guys trying to escape, and they're trying to go over the border of Mexico. And, they had kidnapped his family. And I'm like, wow, this is an interesting movie. Where is it going? The one brother's a little fucked up, and they're trying to watch him around the daughter, And I'm just watching this, and I'm so interested in this. And then, bam, fucking vampires. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? But I liked it, other than the fact I thought it was really weird that there wasn't a lot of like, okay, holy shit, there's vampires. There was like, they immediately like, there's vampires, bro. We got to work together. Come on, board the doors up. Let's go. Get the guns. Yeah.
Now, Jason DiAugustino from the Mothership Facebook group has Suspiria, 1977, Sleepaway Camp, Last House on the Left, 1972, Devil's Rejects, and Anguish.
Anguish. I don't know much about Anguish. You tell me about Anguish. You know Anguish?
I don't know nothing about Anguish.
Fuck them. Next list.
I know Last House on the Left is a fucked up movie where you see the original, definitely more fucked up than the new one. But basically, these guys, they kind of kill these kids, and then they happen upon this house that happens to be the parents of the kids. And crazy revenge scene at the end. The original is wild, but if you want to see something, if you like the modern remakes better, you might like that.
What is that movie Is it the haunted house where Owen Wilson gets his head cut off in the movie?
Rainn Wilson gets his head cut off in House of a Thousand Corpses.
Nah, it's Owen Wilson, baby. He was actually in this movie and early in his career. He got his head decapitated. We'll look it up later.
Oh, I don't know. Now,
Yeah.
Tariq Min from the Mothership Facebook group has The Exorcist, The Thing 1981, Nightmare on Elm Street 1984, Saw 2004, and The Conjuring.
The Conjuring. Did that happen in Connecticut?
No, Rhode Island.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting because that movie like always felt kind of local and stuff. People love talking about that. I've seen so many podcasts around here about
Yeah,
that.
and it took off. Now, Robert Longmire from the Mothership Facebook group. Oh, its connection to Connecticut is Lorraine Warren and her husband Ed lived in Connecticut. And I believe they had a paranormal museum here. Now, Robert Longmire from the Mothership Facebook group has Pet Cemetery, The Babadook, Insidious, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Aliens.
Okay. And just to answer the question earlier, it's The Haunting. That's where Owen Wilson gets his head cut off. So check that out, folks.
Nice. Now, former guest of the show, friend of the show, Chris Zauha from the Mothership Facebook group has Halloween, Creepshow, the Halloween remake in 2018, Friday the 13th Part 2, and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street making a ton of fucking lists, huh?
Making a lot of lists. It's up there, but it's not in the top 3, surprisingly, so far. Now, G. Michael Curto from the Mothership Facebook group has Scanners 1981.
Oh, yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street 1984. The Fly 1958.
Ooh.
The Exorcist 1973. And then Harold and Maude 1971. I don't know if that's a movie.
I thought you were going to say Harold and Kumar. Maybe that one's scary. That was a good time. I love that movie.
Man, they couldn't find White Castle. That thing terrified me. I'm like, wait, you're going to set out to go for fast food and not make it there? That could entirely happen.
That's scary shit. I got, what did I say, 2 lists left?
Yeah.
What do you got left?
I got 4 more.
4 more. All right. Hit me with another one, and then I'll start hitting you some. We'll go back.
All right. Dennis Bauer from the Mothership Facebook group has Hellraiser, Return of the Living Dead, Reanimator, In the Mouth of Madness, and Videodrome.
You can tell I'm getting tired because we've been doing this for a while. I've been up, and when you said whatever you said, the return or something, all I can think of is Return of the Mac. Oh man, he's scary. All right.
Yeah, we are getting a lot of recording in today, and this is the most list we've ever had. So actually, we are.
I feel like I only have.
This is really fucking up our format.
I feel like I read Eric Swenson already. Halloween 1978, Jaws, The Exorcist. Yeah, he read his list. All right, I only got one more in mind. Whatever. Robert Marchart. He's got Burnt Offerings, Ghost Story, The Channeling, The Thing, and Pet Cemetery, which I'm surprised didn't make a lot of lists. Actually, hold up here. Joe, I've been making you go through all this shit. You had lists on the back of this paper too, bro.
Yeah, it was 2 seconds.
Oh, Joe, we got a lot more. You're going to have to shut this back up for a minute. I got to read a bunch of lists. That's all right. All right. That's what happens, folks. A lot of sleep. Return of the Mac. Here we go. I got Mike Summerdoyle, or whatever the fuck your name is. He's got Bride of Frankenstein, Cat People, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1956? Really? Okay. Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed, The Howling, and tomorrow I might have a different 5. All right, bro. Well, thanks for letting us know that.
We're going to do what I did where you'll give a list and then I'll pick a movie and say something off it. I'm surprised Invasion of the Body Snatchers didn't make a lot more lists. His list was varied and it was older. I like that one a lot.
All right. There you go. We got Caleb Ranchek or Ragnarok. He's got I never remember my favorite horror films of all time, so it was a little hard. Okay. He's got Island of Lost Souls, The Wicker Man, The Exorcist. Oh, God, my eyes are falling apart on me here. Dawn of the Dead, and the Cabinet of Dr. Something.
Yeah, good list.
The Cabinet of Dr. Like, I don't know. That movie. Joe, what about The Wicker Man? You know anything about that?
Never heard it. Good Iron Maiden song.
All right. Damian Jones. He's got Rosemary's Baby, Don't Look Now, Surprise Corrigan, whatever, Dracula, fuck 'em, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Rosemary's Baby is a great classic movie. That's another one where the director in later years did some pretty horrifying things that make people write off the movie. And that's the lady that Woody Allen screwed over for that young Asian girl. Shout out to Mia Farrow.
Oh,
But
shit. Me in the house. All right. Number 14 on this list. By the way, we got 20 more. We got 20. So I'm number 14. We got Carlos Cabrero or Cabrero. I don't know. He's got The Thing, Hellraiser, Event Horizon. Did that where the shark came out and ate the motherfucker?
I think so.
Maybe. Hereditary and The Void. Wasn't that movie? Was maybe The Great Blue Sea or whatever with Samuel Jackson?
Oh, yeah. Deep Blue Sea, maybe.
Deep Blue Sea. Yeah, shark came out and ate me.
That's all we got for that list.
There we go. Wilson May, thank you for contributing. The Thing, Them, War of the Worlds, The Day the Earth Stood Still. This is some old school. Creature of the Black Lagoon, and he's got all other Universal horror movies and original Godzilla. Okay. Anything you want to add to that shit?
Yeah, those original Universal horror, the Dracula, like we said earlier, Mummy, Wolfman, all classics.
Original Godzilla, too. Marty Kirchner's got The Exorcist 3, Near Dark, The Mist, Howling, and The Poltergeist.
A big movie, like I was scared of Poltergeist. It was the girl being stuck in the TV, and then it was that little lady with the fucked up voice. I don't know where you find people like that, but that was scary.
Dave Schroeder's got Halloween, The Omen, Cabin in the Woods, Night of the Living Dead, and The Thing.
Night of the Living Dead, great. Probably maybe the first zombie movie. Love it.
All right. I said I had 20. It's actually 22. Number 18. Here we go, baby. We got the, sorry. This is Luis Eduardo Miranda Cruz. Oh, I think I killed that one, actually.
Shout out Luis.
Yeah, shout out Luis. Mwah! Mama loves you. The Exorcist, The Thing, Silence of the Lambs, Alien, and Halloween. Silence of the Lambs. You got to have something on that, Joe. That's a pretty good film.
That is one that not a lot of people picked, but I mean, serial killer, fucking real creep, 8 people. How could he not be scared of it?
Goddamn right. Michael, Inozuzu. He's got The Exorcist, The Thing, Dawn of the Dead, The Howling, and Jaws. I hope people listen to this podcast.
Yeah, like, I'm going to take a minute out because obviously we're hitting this thing where we're reading so many lists that we're kind of hitting like a medium where it's like, it feels like we're giving no effort. But I think the biggest thing to say here is this is the most amount of lists we have gotten about anything. We've never had to pace out a show like this. So it's not that we're making fun of people's choices. No. We've been recording far too long. We got far too deep into this.
We did.
Like, usually we got a good rhythm with 5-3-1. So it's like,
and so we're just having fun
and a joke. And now it's like we didn't prepare for this. We didn't get ready to run a marathon. We're just like short level sprinters.
Yeah, and we're just having fun with this, trying to be entertaining, folks. So if you hear this, we're sorry. This one snuck up on us. Like, we did some preparation, but some of these names, Joe got some of these to me while I was in the middle of some stuff, and he was in some stuff. And all right, my bad. But anyway, we're gonna march on with Jack Fate. That's right. He wrote a list, so fuck you. He's got The Change, Frankenstein, Dracula, Trilogy of Terror, Exorcist, Halloween, and Omen.
Another solid list. The Omen, that was one I remember hearing about a lot as a kid, but it's not showing up on a lot of lists. That's kind of surprising.
All right. Heather Friedel, She's got The Exorcist, Alien, and Event Horizon mixed into the list.
Another good pick.
All right. And then we got Wick Willard for our final list here. He's got Halloween, The Evil Dead, The Devil's Rejects. That looks like VHS2 Record.
Nice. Now, Dave, we've had a lot of lists. We're going to call it a day there. Our top three, we're looking at The Shining popped up on a lot of lists. Halloween popped up on a lot of lists. And The Exorcist. Those were like the top three.
Honorable mention, since I didn't really put out a list, Nightmare on Elm Street, because that was my scary movie. And
that
Clockwork
came in
Orange,
about fourth.
which nobody mentioned, but I saw when I was 5 years old, folks. Scared the shit out of me. Anyway, yeah, so Halloween, The Exorcist, and
The Shining.
The Shining. So, very interesting, because the Halloween to me is just one of your classic slasher films.
Yeah.
And The Shining is definitely more of like this written suspense. And then you have The Omen, which is a little more supernatural. So
The Exorcist.
The Exorcist, I'm sorry, which is more supernatural. So it's kind of an interesting, three we picked here. Like, they're all very different in a lot of ways.
Yeah, for me, though, Halloween's got to be the first to go.
I would agree, because I don't think it's as scary as the other two.
I don't know how to pick between The Shining or The Exorcist, which is a better horror movie. Those are both top of the line. Mm-hmm. Those and like It are the movies of all time that I'm like, those are the scariest things.
Well, recently biased for me, I'll go with The Shining, because I just definitely really enjoyed that so much that, like I said, even the sequel I saw, Dr. Sleep, for me, I know some people should, but I just was happy to see more of this stuff come out. So
I'm a big Stephen King fan. I'm more than okay with that choice. Fans, you know what the music means. The Shining is the top horror films of all time, and we will see you later.
Get fucked.